There's only two types of torture in divorce, quick or slow. So take the quick torture, eat that pill, that nasty pill, and get it over with. You're going to do that to save your budget overall for the long term. Welcome to Getting Divorced Without Losing Your Mind. I'm Corey Shapiro. I'm guiding you to a better divorce. That's my goal here. I do that by working on your divorce, not in it. That's with your attorney. In this episode, we are dealing with the emotion. Who's in control of that emotion? Is it you or is it the emotion? You know, the real battle in a divorce is not between you and your ex. It's between, or soon to be ex, it's between your negative versions of each other. So if your negative energy or negative emotion is causing you to make bad decisions, and that's the same thing that's going on with your spouse, that's how we get problems. So we're going to deal with this emotion budget. That's what we're deep diving on. Because the fight you are really in is an emotional war. Now, some attorneys are like button pushers. They are just going to be advocates, and that's a part of the job. But you want your attorney to advocate for you on an issue that has some basis in the law, in the facts. But what happens mostly is you're going to have attorneys who advocate nonsense, noise. They're hoping something sticks. They are creating fear in you. And that's how the emotion gets crazy. So let me just give you an introduction to the four types of the divorce budget before we do this deep dive. We got the emotion we're doing today. Next time, we're going to deal with the money budget. That's the traditional budget. Everyone thinks about money when they're thinking about a budget. Then we're going to move to the energy budget. And finally, wrapping up with maybe the most important budget because it's not renewable. It's your time. Let me give you this concept. You're going to have either fear-based decision-making or faith-based decision-making. And that's a conflict. There's a polarity between them. They're opposites in a way. Now, they both happen in your mind. You know, when you're activated, you could go right into fear-based. And you can go right into a negative spiral on worst-case examples of what's going to happen. Right? And that's paralyzing. You know, I'm going to lose everything. I'm not going to win custody. This is going to be a nightmare. Never going to settle. All fear-based thinking. Or you can move to faith-based. Again, just in your mind, just in your thoughts. You're just creating it. I'm getting better. Not being so reactive with my spouse. I'm doing the best I can to create stable environment, stable parenting plan for my children. I'm not talking about this divorce with my children. I'm not giving off negative energy. To tell you the truth, I'm really hopeful that we're going to resolve this as soon as possible with the least amount of expense. Even if that doesn't come true, that's your faith. That's your goal. And I want you to manifest that. Trust me, it's going to help you if you manifest or try to manifest it. Not going to help you if you're just in fear. Now, let me explain to you scoring. And I put that in quotes because there is no real scoring in divorce, or is there? No, there is scoring, but it's not like on a scoreboard. No one tells you the real scoring of divorce. Now, it's a little bit different. I want to compare two sports, basketball and tennis. Everyone knows the score when they look at a basketball scoreboard. Whoever has the most points wins. Tennis is not like that. People can have the same amount of points, or the winner could actually have less points because it's not a game of points. It's a game of sets, and sets are represented by games. Okay, so what that means in the divorce world is this, and this is why it's so important. You can lose a lot of points. You can lose a lot of points and still win. That's the key. You just got to make sure that you're winning the right points at the right time, and that's discernment. That is the judgment you're going to need from a good attorney, and hopefully you can get some influence, just general information on this podcast and in my book. For your particular situation, obviously, attorney, if they are a good attorney, a trusted advisor, are going to help you through that. So think about that. Now, there's 3 emotional phases of a divorce. 3 phases. You got the early phase. That's that panic. That's that rush. There's a lot of energy going on. In this phase, um, you should also be focusing on settlement if you can. Then you have the grind. That's phase 2. Phase 1 is, so much painful getting divorced, but let's try to get some professionals involved. I say professionals because you have to borrow their wisdom. Their wisdom. If you both are in pain and you can go to a professional, a mediator, or some really good collaborative attorneys, maybe they can end your divorce in phase 1, in that early phase. But if you've got a difficult divorce, they're probably not going to hire someone like that. They're probably going to hire a button pusher, make things difficult. They're going to start with nasty. It's going to be crazy time. And that's where you get the grind. Unfortunately, divorce attorneys bill by and large by the hour, and they got to build a case. They got to, put their kids through college. They got to pay their mortgage. So they have to grind. Now, not all attorneys do this, but a lot of attorneys, create problems. That's what they're doing. They're creating problems to create fear with you. And a lot of this work is also not done. It could also be done by associates at a lower billing rate, but they're still doing it. It's still the grind. It takes time. And then you're going to have the final phase. That's the big energy push to the end, either to preparing for trial or to a settlement. My goal is end it early. There's a good quote by a famous celebrity divorce attorney, says there's only 2 types of torture in divorce, quick or slow. So take the quick torture, eat that pill, that nasty pill, and get it over with. You're going to do that to save your budget overall for the long term. All right, so here's my question for you. I'm going to end this episode with this question. How do you cut your emotional spending by 50%? Now, I didn't say 1%. I didn't say 10%. By 50%. How are you going to do that? Do you want some hints? Well, give me something. I want to hear something. Are you saying you're not going to be reactive on texts? You're going to wait 24-hour pause. Wow. That's it. That's exactly what I want to hear. Oh, you're not going to escalate. Yeah, not going to escalate. Oh, and when you're triggered, when you're activated, you're not going to just send a missive to the other side. Wow. That's how you cut things by 50%. That's how you protect your emotional budget. That's how you move things forward. That's where you want to go. I want to pull you to your post-divorce life. I want to get you out of thinking about points. I want you to think about sets, a match. Get in that locker room. Get into that post-divorce life. Now, if your soon-to-be ex is crazy time, is difficult, I feel for you. And that's the process. But you can control your side of things to make it the best as possible. You can make the best of a bad situation. Now, if this podcast, if this episode of my book, if it resonates with you, would you share your divorce story? Would you leave me a voicemail? Share your story for this divorce community to inspire other people when you're finally getting through this, to inspire them when they're in the tough, when they're middle phase, and they want to move forward. Will you leave me a voicemail and I may share that episode or share that recording on this episode? I think it really will help people, inspire people. And that's what we're trying to do here. I'm trying to inspire you, give you some hope, and pay it forward. Give other people hope that they can control themselves and they can make things just even 1% better, which is going to be tremendous improvement in their life. And that's what I'm here for your life and for your children's life. So I'm Corey Shapiro. I'm here to help you become more creative and less reactive in your divorce.
Thank you for tuning in to the Getting Divorced Without Losing Your Mind podcast. We would love to hear your feedback. Send Corey an email to feedback@gettingdivorced.org. And if you've read his book, please consider leaving an Amazon review. This podcast offers general information only. It cannot replace legal advice. If you need tailored advice, contact an attorney licensed to practice in your area.